How will the new moon in Virgo energies affect your sign? Let's dive in and find out with the tarot. Stay tuned. So this reading is for all signs. It is time-stamped. I am going to break out this reading by houses, so you will want to watch for your rising sign first and then your sun sign. If you don't know your rising sign, you can get a free natal chart at astro.com. The new moon is on Saturday, August 27th at 4:17 a.m. Eastern Time. It is occurring at 4 degrees Virgo. I did a quick little post on this new moon on my Facebook page. Please follow me over there if you haven't already done so. It's Real Stella Wilde. You can find me over on Facebook. I did a little posting about this, and I called this new moon an opportunity to strategize and simplify. So Mars is in Gemini, squaring this new moon in Virgo. Squares often give us an impetus to change something because there's usually some sort of energy of friction. And of course, both Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury. So there is this emphasis at this new moon to really use your mind strategically. That's the Mars in Gemini energy. Mercury is also in Virgo at this time. It is trining, which is a supportive influence, Pluto in Capricorn. So there could be a real positive energy here to come up with a very innovative solution and a strategic solution to something that needs to perhaps be cleansed or purged or really transformed and changed in your life. And you know, I'm all about using these energies, and at new moons, we like to set our intentions for positive change. So one of the things you really want to think about at this new moon is to not allow yourself, in my opinion, to be emotionally triggered perhaps by this influx of data, information, intel, statistics, input, sensory input, just lots of chatter. That is Mars in Gemini. And because we're having it squaring the moon, and the moon rules our emotional body, there just could be a lot of stuff to sift through, and you want to make sure that you don't let it overwhelm you. So this is a real opportunity to strategically look at where you may need to cleanse, purge, strategize, and simplify your life. And of course, whatever area this is falling in for you in your natal chart with this new moon. All right, we're going to get into your reading. Timestamps are in the description of the video and also in the first pinned comment. All right, Aries. So you have this Mars in Gemini in your third house of communications. Mars is your ruling planet, and you have this new moon in Virgo, which is your sixth house of work and well-being. So one thing I would advise all Aries people at this time is really to watch your tongue. Watch your tongue, watch your irritability and anger levels. Sometimes Aries is so feisty we don't even realize it, how our tone might be. So particularly in the workplace, since the new moon is in your sixth house, and particularly in dealing with anything with your well-being is not going to be supported by a hair trigger temper because you're impatient about something going on in your daily life. So you may want to use this energy and set an intention to count to 10 and be more patient, especially with people in your especially over the next 7 months with this Mars in Gemini, and people in your daily environment, third house, siblings, and all your communications, third house, and also to do it from a stance of making more helpful and healthy choices. I'm going to look at it that way with the Virgo. And not to have a lot of unnecessary conversations and unnecessary running around. That's third house also. Okay, so if we're looking at strategize and simplify, Aries, definitely your daily routines, setting the intention to streamline. Like there may be just things you don't need to be running around and doing, even though you may think you do. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got going on, Aries. we have the King of Swords, and we have the High Priestess. Okay. So you could, this is of course our Gemini energy. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius individual. We have the High Priestess here, which is about kind of taking a step back a little bit, listening to your intuition, counting twice, since she's the number 2 here, for a few seconds, like doing that inhale for a few seconds before your mouth just starts running away with you, as we know can happen with Aries. So this is about, the King of Swords is about fairness. He is about strategy. He is very wise. He's very, very wise. So it's about really listening to your intuition, in a very helpful, wise way before you shoot off your mouth, King of Swords. So again, taking that step back, listening to your intuition to know when is the right time for you to jump in and say something. All right. Also, if you're looking at cleansing and purging your daily environment and, looking to embark upon some new health regimen, which also can be the new moon in Virgo for you, really look at what your intuition is calling you to do. You may get involved in making a decision about intuitive eating, as an example. Google that. I don't have time to explain that right now. There could be something here where you really are feeling compelled or called, like you're just feeling this urge, like, yeah, I got to go walk in nature, or I got to go back to my kickboxing class, or I got to do whatever that your intuition is really telling you to make the decision and get back into it and do it. So that could also help with a lot of the stress and anger levels and irritability levels that Mars could be bringing to that 3rd house daily environment for you as well. All right, let's see what else we have. We have the 9 of Wands. Okay, so you do not want to be running yourself ragged. All right, this really goes back to our strategize and simplify. And really, this is the key here. I think the High Priestess in this 3-card pull is really to take that step back. And, High Priestess is also a lot about kind of being a little bit in the shadows, like not being so front and center. And we know Aries usually like to be front and center. So you're gonna do more for yourself, especially I would say through the whole Mars and Gemini season. But over the next 2 weeks, as we build to the full moon in Pisces, you're gonna bring more benefit for yourself to just take a step back, because some of you are tired, 9 of Wands. And whatever, you may need to make a tough decision here to take that step back and just rest a little bit and listen to your body a little bit more, again, intuitively, in terms of more sleep, more nutrition, more certain supplements you may feel like all of a sudden you need. Really pay attention. I'm just getting a lot of vibe here, Aries, about intuitive eating. Like, really notice, because you don't always notice this, really notice exactly what you're craving and why, right? And again, you may have to Google that, talk to your doctor, whatever. This is not medical advice. But really looking at that and making, setting the intention to making wise adjustments to your nutrition levels, what you're eating. And also with this 9 of Wands here, there may be some adrenal things going on for you as well. So intuitively eating to support your adrenal system may be another thing to look at here. Again, Google all these things, talk with your doctor. This is not medical advice, but I would say, because the new moon influence can lead into our full moon, right? We're working with a 2-week period here. And since we have the number 2 in the middle, it would really be a good idea for you to make the decision to pull back a little bit, Aries, and get some rest. Taurus. So Mars in Gemini is in your 2nd house of money and also your values. When Mars transits our 2nd house, we usually can see a lot of outlay, right? A lot of output. Expenses tend to rise. All of a sudden we're spending a lot of money, right? That's just a typical Mars 2nd house transit. With this, square to your moon, the new moon in Virgo, which is in your 5th house of love, romance, creativity, and pleasure, you may need to, and again, it depends on your personal situation, but you may need to really look at your budget and look at where you may be emotionally triggered to spend money on pleasurable things. Now, those pleasurable things are going to be different depending on who you are and what you find of pleasure, okay? So there could be something like that going on. There could also be something where you may want to set an intention to watch your budget, save some money for some sort of trip, pleasure trip, starting a business. That's also fifth house here. Something involving your children. That's also fifth house. So what I'm feeling is going on here is really looking at any sort of needs versus wants, and really just keeping an eye on the finances and where you may get triggered emotionally, and then you end up spending money that you really didn't want to spend. I mean, Taurus is usually a very good sign in terms of budgeting and managing money and things like that, managing resources. Yours is the sign of resources. But, you got Mars squaring the moon. So there could be just really keeping an eye on not emotionally spending and really spending on the things that you value also. But I will say with Mars transiting a second house, you may want to set an intention to set aside some money because Mars is going to be in this second house for 7 months. Okay. So you may want to make sure you have a little money set aside just in case something pops up. All right, let's see. Some sort of, unexpected expense or something like that. All right, we have a 4 of Cups and we have, what do we have here? And we have a 7 of Swords. Okay. So 7 of Swords is a strategy card. We have the 4 of Cups, which can be like, I'm a little dissatisfied. I have some emotional needs I need to have met. But how am I going to go about doing that? 7 of Swords. You need to also be careful that somebody isn't pulling the wool over your eyes about some sort of financial issue as well. Making sure you do the due diligence with your finances at this time and going forward, especially, the next 7 months. Because we do have the 7 of Swords showing up here, and the Swords is the Gemini energy, the air energy, and it's going to be 7 months in Gemini. So it's interesting the 7 of Swords came out for you. 4 of Cups can be sometimes emotional dissatisfaction, but the universe brings another opportunity. So again, the universe may bring you an opportunity to have some sort of new pleasurable pursuit or activity or start a business or go travel or do something with your kids. But what's the plan to make that happen financially without you getting stuck out on a limb? And then if an unexpected expense comes up, you can't pay for it. So these are the things to really look at. This is a very corroborating, affirming energy. Let's see what else we have. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is an energy about doing research, doing your homework, digging deep, and coming up with some sort of financial plan for yourself. I do feel that there could be some good news for you, perhaps, coming over the next 2 weeks because we take the new moon to the full moon. So, right. So we're working with a 2-week period, basically. So I think you could come up with a very good strategy for figuring out your finances over the next 2 weeks that will help you over the next 7 months. And there could, in fact, be some sort of good news. I feel like something could come out of the woodwork a little bit here with the 7 of Swords. Something that has been perhaps hidden or delayed comes out of the blue and could be some good financial news for you also over the next 2 weeks. But the same thing, if that happens and there's some sort of little unexpected windfall, make sure that you really think about how you can best use that. So Gemini, Mars is transiting your first house of the self and how other people see you and your physical body for the next 7 months. Aren't you fortunate? So you're going to be dealing with this energy for a while. It's going to be really firing you up to assert yourself, assert your personal agendas. Because the first house is how other people see us. Other people may be seeing you as somebody who can get a job done, who's a little more feisty and a go-getter than maybe you usually are, that type of thing. So just keep that in mind because you don't want all of a sudden other people piling all sorts of stuff on your plate just because they think you can get it done. Okay. Now, this new moon is happening in your 4th house of home, family, roots, what nourishes you, what feeds you. And this new moon, as I said in my prelude to this video, is squaring Mars. So there really could be some energy here for you to set your intentions to clear emotionally regarding the family. And particularly, some sort of stressful, because Mars is squaring the moon, some sort of stressful situation involving the family. I feel like because Mars is in your sign, you're the one in the emotional driver's seat of how this situation can play out. It's about you taking control of the situation, but you do have to watch it that you don't have some sort of hair trigger reaction. So it could be that you need, depending on your personal situation, to set the intention to be more patient with family members. It could be that you need to set, or some sort of home matter, or you may need to set the intention to not take on too much, put in greater boundaries with family members and regarding home situations, that type of thing. That just because Mars is in your sign doesn't mean, like I said before, that you can just take on everything. So there could be something like that going on. All right, let's see what we need to know. But I think overall, it's about having more patience and not allowing yourself to get triggered so that you act out of character in some way is what I am feeling. All right, let's see what we need to know for you, Gemini. We have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Sun. Okay, beautiful. So the way you can navigate this situation is to stay grounded, Queen of Pentacles, and take care of yourself. Okay? Take care of, engage in the activities that really make you feel happy and fulfilled. And that will ground you through this particular situation and navigating it. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is also our Virgo energy. And with the Sun is like the best card in tarot, as we know. It's about triumph and happiness and joy and positivity and all of that. So this to me, again, is what do you foundationally need to make yourself happy with this home situation? Whatever you're dealing with. This could also be that you need to move somewhere. I mean, it could be something like that going on as well. So being really honest and looking at, in your heart of hearts, what do you need to set an intention to change? All right. That's going to bring greater stability to your life in all, facets in terms of this home and family situation. All right. Let's see what else we have. Another beautiful energy. So the Ten of Pentacles, which is Capricorn, which is your 8th house. 8th house, other people's money. So you can set an intention to solidify, Ten of Pentacles, some sort of greater stability I am feeling with perhaps family members, extended family. If you have been wanting to shore up the family finances, setting the intention to do that at this new moon would be good. In terms of managing joint resources, because this is Capricorn 8th house for you, which is other people's money. So there could be a healing or some sort of conversation about how family finances are being used. This is very positive energy here. Very positive energy. It really is about you, I feel, with Mars in your sign, asserting your needs and desires and what's in your heart of hearts that you want to make happen. You could have somebody around you who is very supportive with this Ten of Pentacles, or they're coming in very soon. You have people around you, I feel, also Gemini, who are very grounded, very stable, and are looking to help you, the Sun, with whatever's going on for you in this 4th house, with Mars squaring this 4th house energy. There could also be something coming up over, I would say, into Capricorn season, where if there's something going on with inheritances, family legacy, investments, things of that nature, and you're setting an intention to improve the family finances, you could see an improvement by Capricorn season. All right, so everybody's situation is a little different. But I feel like you're going to find a solution. This is about finding a solution that works for you. And in turn, that solution that's going to work for you will also work for the people around you. This 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Go for it, Gemini. So Cancer, Mars will be in your 12th house of the subconscious, things going on behind the scenes for 7 months. So exciting and very interesting. Mars is going to be churning up all sorts of subconscious desires, hidden desires, things may be coming out of the woodwork, things coming up and out unexpectedly. It can also bring things up from the depths for healing. You have this new moon happening in your 3rd house of your daily life, of communications. So what I am really feeling here, what I'm feeling is it's time to set an intention to really communicate your deep desires, not just to other people, but to yourself. That's Mars stirring up that 12th house. So there really could be some surprising twists, I feel, for you over the next 7 months with Mars in Gemini, in terms of a redirection of some of your energy into things that, like I said, will maybe surprise you and the people around you. So I think it's going to be a very interesting transit for you. But I think at this new moon, it's about what do you need to change in your daily life, because 3rd house is also our daily habits and routines, you know, what we're doing kind of every day. What do you need to change in order to find more personal fulfillment, to pursue something that perhaps has been hidden away, so to speak? 12th house, Mars in the 12th house. All right, let's see what we need to know about this for you, Cancer. What do we need to know? We have the Page of Wands, and we have your energy, the Queen of Cups. So there is a new desire, Page of Wands, that is, hello Ariel, that is, that has been since probably Leo season, the start of Leo season, that has been kind of percolating in the background. Maybe you've taken a little baby step toward it, maybe you haven't, but notice that this Queen of Cups is looking at this Page of Wands. So I think there is something brand new that you've got your eye on, but I'm wondering if you feel you have the energy, if you feel you have the resources, if you feel you can fit it into your day-to-day life. And so that's what this new moon is all about, setting that intention to make that new desire happen. All right, let's see what we have. What else we need to know about this? Yeah, the 8 of Cups. Okay. So what this is saying to me is that there is going to be something more than likely that you need to set an intention to release so that you can have more time to devote to this fledgling new passion project, whatever it is you want to do with this Page of Wands. So this 8 of Cups, there could be something that you have been emotionally invested in for a while, 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years. But you're ready to let it go from your life so that you can devote more of your passionate energy to something brand new. So there is something here, I think, about making time in your daily schedule. All right, setting that intention at this Virgo new moon to find the space to allow this new thing to grow. And it may be that you have to walk away from, who knows what, 8 of Cups, a relationship, an activity you've been doing for a while, a job. I mean, whatever it might be, who knows, right? It's a general reading and you have to apply the energies to your life. But you're ready for this. That's the other thing. And subconsciously, you know this. Mars is bringing that awareness to light for you in that 12th house. So it's about you, baby. I mean, look at this. Queen of Cups is right in the middle here. This is about some sort of brand new, exciting situation that you want to develop in your life. So it's time to go for it. Set that intention and strategize and simplify. That's what we were talking about in the intro to this video. You will need to strategize and simplify to walk away emotionally and clear that space emotionally, but also clear time from your schedule in order to engage in it as well. So Leo, this new moon in Virgo is happening in your second house of show me the money. And of course, the second house is also your values. Meanwhile, you're going to have Mars in Gemini in your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams, networks, gains, associations, friends, etc. for 7 months. So very interesting. So with Mars squaring this new moon in your second house, so 11th house, second house energies that are going on. To me, this is about setting intentions to manifest your true heart's desires, your true wishes, especially when it comes to your finances, and not settling for less than. All right. So there could be, because Mars is typically male energy, there could also be somebody in your wider network, 11th house, a male who could be very important in the next 7 months in helping you realize an important financial goal. So keep that in mind. So let's see what the tarot has to say for you, Leo, with these energies. New moon, setting the intention to go for what you really want financially and what makes you feel good also. Second house, your values. All right, let's see what we got. The Knight of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Okay, so there could be some sort of mental block, Nine of Swords, against really going full force, Knight of Wands, toward some sort of important wish, dream, or goal. There is something you want very badly. There is an important change that you want to make happen in your world, Knight of Wands. And Wands is your beautiful Leo energy. The issue is this Nine of Swords. It's like you get all fired up about it. You're like, yes, rah, rah, I'm doing it. And then you second guess yourself. And this is also kind of the Virgo energy as well. Nine of Swords, right? The Swords energy. What I'm feeling here is that there's worry about your worthiness of achieving this particular goal. When you're by yourself, you know, in your beautiful Leo energy, daydreaming or whatever, you feel this way. You feel the passion, you feel the fire. But then maybe when you get around with other people, because this Nine of Swords can also be cruelty coming from outside places, outside people. You know, they start making you doubt yourself. So, and since Mars is in your 11th house, you want to be also very selective of whose opinion you're listening to, because there could be a lot of people around. Mars is ruled by Aries, which is rather feisty energy. There could be people around who are, you know, very demanding, barking orders at you, very feisty, very irritable, that type of thing. Don't be listening to them. All right. So there's something like going on with that. Let's see. Let's pull from the top. What do we need to know? All right. The Three of Pentacles. So I would say that a couple of days, maybe 3 to 4 days after this new moon, would be a great time for you to sit down, Leo, and plan your strategy. Three of Pentacles. Plan your architecture, your structure, your plan. Who can help you also? Who is solid and secure and reliable, and who could help you manifest this financial wish or goal that you have for yourself? Because not everybody is going to be, as we know from this Nine of Swords energy. I think instead of staying stuck in your head and staying blocked, it would be good for you to sit down with pen and paper and actually write down what you need to do, the checklist, the things, the action plan that you can just start moving forward on with your passionate energy to make this financial goal happen for yourself. All right. And I think you could make very good progress by the time that we get to the full moon in Pisces, which is, of course, coming in 2 weeks. We have our full moon 2 weeks after our new moon. So I think you can really, really shift this mental block energy over the next couple of weeks. And that's going to set you up for a lot of success with this Mars in your 11th house going forward. Because remember, it's all about using the energy, and Mars will be in Gemini for 7 months. So I feel this is a really good opportunity for you to strategize and simplify what's in your headspace. All right, because remember, what we focus on expands. If you're focusing on the negative, if you're focusing in on what everybody else is saying to you, or even comparing yourself to other people, that is going to be a block that is not going to help you move forward. So be very careful of who you surround yourself with. But with the Three of Pentacles showing up, there are a couple people, and I said there would be a man, and here's a man in this card to help you. There's likely to be a couple of people on your side over the next 7 months who do want to help you achieve some sort of important change, Knight of Wands, in your destiny and make a wish happen for you. So go for it. Virgo, you're in the spotlight. It is your personal new moon. On the 27th, we get one new moon and one full moon in our sign every year. And here is your new moon. So it's time to set some new intentions for your personal growth. Now, with Mars in your 10th house of career squaring your new moon, you may indeed want to be thinking about your career and or your status in the world. And status in the world, 10th house also includes important relationships like, are we married? Are we single? Are we divorced? Etc. Are we retired? Are we working? Are we working part-time? Are we a student? Like it's that type of thing. Think of your status update on social media. It's that type of energy as well, the 10th house. But 10th house is also our career. So Mars is really energizing, what are you going to do? How are you going to harness Mars's initiating strong, go for it energy in your career over the next 7 months? Mars is going to be in Gemini for quite a while. Now, with the square, it can give you a little bit of a kick in the bum, right? Like, what do you really want out of your career, especially, I would say, at this new moon? Are you satisfied? Where do you need to re-energize your efforts in some way? Are you happy? The moon, right? Your new moon. Are you happy with what's going on in your career? Yay or nay, right? And really looking at where you may need to strategize and simplify and streamline what you're doing in the world for greater personal gain and prosperity and effect, right? Okay, so let's see what we need to know about that for you. All right, let's see. And you could be very, very busy also with your career over the next 7 months as well, with Mars in that 10th house. Or with career decisions, like, am I going to retire or not? You'll also want to be, or am I going to start a new business or not? That type of thing. You also are going to want to be aware to the Mars retrograde periods. He goes retrograde, I believe, I think it's October 30th. Or the 31st, and stays retrograde until January 12th. So that may be a time when you're going to be rethinking, Virgo, some of your career decisions, or coming up with a new strategy. And then it will be full steam ahead after the 12th of January, 2023. We have the Hierophant. We have the Taurus energy showing up. And we have the moon. Oh, isn't that interesting? Okay. So what I feel is Taurus is your 9th house of the big picture perspective of your life. Hierophant is a lot about spiritual lessons. The moon, here we have the moon, right? We have your new moon. This, of course, is a full moon here, but we are talking about the 2-week period as well, from the new moon in Virgo to the full moon in Pisces. So what I feel is you don't want to repeat a cycle. Moon is also about cycles. You have the spiritual savvy and know-how and realization about yourself that you need to do something differently. You need to set an intention not to repeat a cycle, all right, with probably your career. And I think that is the best way to use these energies at this new moon for you. there may be something also where you want to break free. Let's not forget this little wild wolf that's in this deck. You may really need to let something off your chest, to howl at the moon, to get something out emotionally, to kind of mark this transition period. I do feel you've learned some sort of very important lesson about yourself, about what you want out of your career, out of the world, out of your world. And, you may need to kind of mark that occasion here at your new moon and set this intention. Yeah, I learned this. I'm going to howl at the moon, so to speak, and let this energy go. And I'm ready for my new beginning. And I'm going to do things differently this time. All right, let's pull from the top of this deck and see what we have. Knight of Cups. Okay. So I always call the Knight of Cups like offering your cup to the world. Like, you have something very valuable to give to the world. You really do, Virgo. And with this Knight of Cups, what this is saying to me is that you're going to make an emotional decision, an emotional change to do something a little differently that is also a little more aligned for you emotionally as well. And it's probably with your career as well. So it is a cliche, but follow your bliss is kind of coming to mind here. Because again, you don't want to get caught up in a cycle where you were doing things you didn't really want to do for people you didn't really want to do them for. So you are going to, of course, first tune in with yourself emotionally, Cups, what you want to do. And you're going to make a change to start offering in your business, in your career, products, services, talents, abilities that are also filling your own cup first. So that's what I feel from this. Like, you don't want the same old from your life anymore. It's about really drawing that line in the sand, letting something go and being like, okay, this is where it changes for me. And especially with your career, since Mars is energizing that so strongly over the next 7 months. So good time to go howl at the moon and let it all out, Virgo, because this is a rite of passage. You've learned something very important about yourself and your needs, and you want to do things differently. So set the intention to do that. So Libras, you're having this new moon in Virgo happen in your 12th house of the subconscious, things hidden behind the scenes, dreams, and Mars is in Gemini, which is your 9th house of the big picture perspective of your life, the direction your life is heading in. So I feel like this is a great time for you to set some intentions for following your bliss, following some dreams that really could change the trajectory of your life, Libra. So Mars is energizing the 9th house, which is a house of travel, both, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and also literally. So you're going places, but where are you going? Right? So it's about, digging deep into your subconscious and tuning in with some desires that maybe have been put on the back burner, some dreams that you haven't allowed yourself to really lay claim to, and allow yourself to do that. Set the intention at this new moon to really explore those vistas that you have long been wanting to explore. And of course, I'm speaking in metaphor here. So this could be, really anything that you want to change in your life that will affect where you're going in your life. All right, so let's see what we have going on. I really feel this is about busting through any sort of limiting beliefs that you can't have this, that you can't make this big change happen in your life, in your lifestyle, and where you're going and who you're going with. All right, let's see what we got. We have you. We have the Justice and we have Strength. Okay. So this is Leo, which is your, oh my gosh, I always have to stop and think, which is your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams. So there really is something very important in your heart. This is also the sign of the heart, in your heart, that you really would like to change and achieve in your life, for the bigger picture of your life. There's, when I say bigger picture, it's like a goal on the horizon, where you see your life heading. Could be a Leo involved. That's possible. But what I feel is that there is a very, very strong desire here, Libra. And it's really time to clear out those cobwebs, this 12th house new moon in Virgo, and energize the direction that you want to go in. And it's going to come from your heart. As long as your heart is fully aligned, your heart is really tuned into what you want, you're going to get it. Especially over the next 7 months with Mars in Gemini, which is very favorable energy to yours. All right, let's see what else we need to know. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, that is Virgo energy. But the Eight of Pentacles, this could have something to do perhaps with your job or career. Eight of Pentacles is a classic card of working, but it is also a card of building something based on your skills and talents and capabilities. And in this, I love this deck very much. There's a link to it in the description if you're interested in getting it for yourself. But what I love about this is that there is a beehive and bees here. So the bees are making honey. So what this is saying to me is the direction you want to go in is about the sweetness of life, and whatever that means for you. And you have the courage also. The strength card is about courage and stamina to follow your bliss, follow the path, whatever you need to do to bring this sweetness of life into the big picture of your existence. So, and Mars, like I said, will be in there in Gemini for about 7 months. So by the time he's ready to leave, I think you will find your bliss. You will find your joy. You will find your honey. You will find your sweetness. Life will be sweeter for you, provided you clear out those limiting beliefs that somehow you can't have that. That's what I feel. You can. Your heart is pure for this desire. So it's time to set the intention and go for it. So Scorpio, the new moon in Virgo is in your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams. And we have Mars in Gemini stirring up your 8th house of deep transformation. And Mars in Gemini will be in that sign for 7 months. So you're going to be undergoing a lot of strategic transformation, almost like with surgical precision, removing things from your life, bringing in other things to your life, all toward the aim, I feel, of making some sort of wish fulfilled for you. And this is the time to set that intention of what you want to fulfill in your life with this new moon in the 11th house, and how and what you need to do to transform Mars in Gemini and strategize, like I said, with surgical precision, what may need to be eliminated, what you need to focus more on. The right use of information also is going to be necessary at this time in communication with this Mars in Gemini for 7 months. But I feel like with this new moon energy, because Mars just went into Gemini, and since it's squaring this new moon in the 11th house, it's like now or never to get this thing done and underway. Like if you really want to transform your life and make this wish happen for yourself, this is the next 6-7 months to do it. And it starts with setting the intention now. All right, so let's see what we need to know about this for you. And Mars is an energy that is compatible. Remember, Mars used to rule your sign before Pluto was discovered. So you're very familiar with using Mars's energy to, strategically hone in. Mars is very direct on your desire and what you want to achieve. The problem with it in Gemini is that you can sometimes be pulled in different directions. So this is where you need to use your Scorpio powers of precision to just really focus intently. And yes, you may be pulled. There may be 2 things you want to achieve and transform in your life to make this wish happen. Depends on your personal situation. But you can do it. Because Gemini energy can sometimes be scattered, right? So it's like one of Scorpio's greatest strengths is the power of concentration. So concentrate and strategize with the information that comes to you. The wheel, baby. And the Queen of Cups, which is your energy. That Queen's been coming up quite a bit. So there could be a very fortunate turnaround in your affairs over the next several months. With this Wheel of Fortune, this is Jupiter energy. What I am feeling, Jupiter is in Aries right now, but he's going to be backtracking into Pisces at the end of October. So, and since we have the water energy here as well, I feel like whatever intention you set now is going to be, for this wish fulfillment and how you're going to strategize and transform whatever you need to transform and heal in your life to make this wish happen. Work with that energy until the new moon solar eclipse, October 25th, in your sign. And also right around that same time frame is when Jupiter retros back into Pisces. So, and that is approximately in 10 weeks. We got the 10 here, right? It's approximately, well, maybe a little less than 10, 4 and 8-ish, 9-ish weeks. Okay. But we're in the ballpark. So, everything can change and transform for you. Everything. Toward manifesting this very important wish. Jupiter retrograde, especially when he goes into Pisces, is going to give you a second chance at something. But it's about setting the intention and using that Mars energy to transform the way you've been going about getting this desire. So if you are presented with a second chance opportunity around the end of October, beginning of November, you can't go about pursuing it in the same way that you have been up to this point. Mars will also be retrograde starting October 30th. So you're going to have to rethink your strategy of how you're going to go about getting this thing and what you need to fix, transform, heal, etc. to get what you want. The new moon in Virgo 11th house, desire. But it kicks off now with this new moon. All right. So this is to give you some strategies to achieve this desire. And we have the Two of Swords. Okay. That's interesting. So the Two of Swords can be an energy of doubt. And yet, I feel also in about 2 months, right? So end of August to end of September to the end of October. So you may be in the dark. You may be in the dark for 2 months, and you may start to doubt if the universe, Wheel of Fortune, is ever going to take care of this situation, this wish coming true, etc. It will. You have to keep the faith. You have to just keep focusing on what you need to transform in yourself, Queen of Cups, to change, turn the wheel, and you will get there in the end. Don't make the mistake, in my opinion, of not looking at what you need to do. Sorry, I'm pointing at you. What you need to do, Scorpio, to change your tactics, change your strategy of going about to get this goal to happen. Okay? That to me is the key here. So set the attention at this new moon that you will be open-minded and patient to coming up with a new solution for getting this desire underway. Because you're a fixed energy and sometimes you're very stubborn about what you think has to happen and when. There is a new approach that needs, in my opinion, to be implemented. So think about that and set the intention that you will implement a new approach. So Sagittarius, you have a new moon in your 10th house of a career. Very exciting. Mars is in Gemini, which is your 7th house of relationships, both business and personal. And Mars will be in that house for 7 months. But Mars is also squaring this new moon. So you may be setting some intentions to really look at your business relationships. All right. And Are they working for you or not working for you? What needs to change? Because again, Mars squaring the moon, what emotionally may need to shift in order for you to be more happy with your career or more happy with the people around you who you work with? That type of thing. There could be somebody over the next 7 months who comes into your life and really can help you also achieve some sort of important career goal. That person may push you, Mars, because Mars is a little pushy, push you out of a comfort zone, Moon in Virgo, in order to achieve a particular goal. Now, this even applies if there's somebody in your world who is a pain in the rear, because Mars can sometimes be that. It can be cantankerous individuals. Seventh house is also the house of enemies. There could be somebody around who just annoys you, but they serve as a catalyst to get you off the emotional fence to make a change in your career. So that's even possible for some of you. But this is all about setting an intention to perhaps make a change in your career that might be a little uncomfortable at first. Mars, 7th house, squaring the moon in the 10th. All right. It could be too that your partner has something to say about this, if you have a partner, about this new goal or change you want to do in your career, that type of thing. All right, let's see what we got going on. We have the Knight of Cups and we have the Six of Cups. Okay. So both these are very, very lovely energies. But what this is speaking to me is to get out of an emotional comfort zone. With the Knight of Cups, really following your bliss. And in doing so, you're going to attract energy to you that is going to be conducive. So I feel like there's going to be an emotional change here where you're going to eliminate somebody or something very problematic with your career. Like there's a thorn in your side is what I am feeling. And that will be replaced by energies around you that are much more joyful, conducive, happy, etc., supportive of you with the Six of Cups here, which is a very lovely, heartfelt. So both of these very heartfelt energies. But with the Knight of Cups here is like you've got to set that emotional intention that you're not going to, put up with these shenanigans anymore. Now, sometimes the way to approach a problematic person is to kill them with kindness. Six of Cups. Well, what I'm feeling, it's more of setting the intention to follow a new road emotionally in your career that will bring more satisfaction, particularly with the people you work with or for. Because you could also work for yourself. This could be you've been dealing with very problematic clients, and now you really want to change that and work with people who really get your energy a lot more. So, that's possible also. And we have the Four of Pentacles, which is our Taurus energy and is also your 6th house of work and well-being. So you're going to solidify and hold on to a new, more blissful path going forward for your career. Now, it may take several months for this really to kick off. And in fact, we have a big full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus in about, it's not quite 4 months, about 3.5 months on November 8th, I believe, the 6th or the 8th, around there. So that may be really a catalyst where you let go and make a big change and then move on to something more solid and stable for yourself. But at this particular new moon, you set the intention that time is of the essence. And it is really time to emotionally prepare yourself and emotionally prepare the way forward for yourself to make these important changes. So you will, I feel, come out, Sagittarius, on the other side of all this energy in a much more stable position for yourself. And I really do feel that big lunar eclipse will have a role to play in this, but more on that in the next couple of months. But this is the key to head toward also. Stability and emotional stability as well. Like there could be something that's going on in your career life right now where you're riding a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster, because you don't know if you're coming, you're going, this person likes your work, they don't like your work, this person's annoyed or not, So it could also be you just really want to get yourself not just more financially stable, but more just grounded, emotionally grounded, and with people, as I said before, who get your energy more. So that could be another thing going on here. But the key here is what's going on with you emotionally at this new moon, and what you want to change about your career that is not satisfying you emotionally. It may not necessarily be about the money, but we know that money is attracted to joy. So when you make a change that helps you align with greater joy and harmony, we tend to have greater stability in our finances. So we'll have to see how this energy continues to play out for you, but set the intention to start looking at how you want to move forward and make some emotional changes with your career. Capricorn, we have a big new moon in your 9th house of the big picture perspective of your life, where you see yourself heading next. We have Mars energizing your 6th house of work and well-being for the next 7 months. So you're going to be an even busier Capricorn than you are currently. Isn't that great? So let's tune in and see. You may be wanting to set some sort of big picture career goal for yourself at this new moon in Virgo. Especially with Mars in Gemini squaring the moon. So, you may have a little bit, I'm feeling like you got itchy feet. You got itchy feet, Capricorn. You're itchy. You're like really wanting to get on with something. Get on with the show. Get on with something that's going to really take you to the next level, right? This 9th house, this ascending next level of your life, and really change your life in a significant way. And again, this could be also with your well-being. That's possible also, but I feel it's probably with your career. All right, let's see what we have going on. Capricorn, setting the intention to get out of a comfort zone and really go for a big new dream is what I feel. 7 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. Okay. So the way this will be achieved for you is to follow your individuality, to not play by the rules, but to play by your rules. So, Capricorn, you're very good at hierarchies and structures and, corporate life and understanding rules and hierarchies and where all the puzzle pieces fit and who are the power players and all of that type of thing. And that's all well and good, and that does serve a purpose. But what I'm feeling here with the 7 of Wands coming out first, this is about you going your own way. This is about you doing your own thing, being totally innovative, different, just on fire, doing your thing that brings you. The 10 of Cups is the ultimate impersonal happiness. I know it can be a family card and whatever, but we're really looking at big picture and career and that type of thing. So I feel like you can ascend to the heights of personal happiness and satisfaction and career satisfaction by really embracing your individuality and not playing by other people's rules, but following the bliss of your own rules and your own unique way of doing something. Okay, whatever that is for you. And we got the Libra, which is your career house, your 10th house of career. So you will bring great success to yourself. And this may be happening in Libra season also. This may be coming up very quickly for you. Maybe in about the next 7 weeks, right? We'll be in Libra, in the heart of Libra season, where you will see that your efforts will pay off, whatever intention that you set at this new moon to really push the boat out with your own unique perspective on whatever it is you want to do. It is about getting out of a comfort zone, is what I feel with Mars squaring this moon. It's about taking a risk on yourself, ultimately. And that's what's going to bring the karmic justice. So if there's been something that hasn't quite gelled yet for you, and we all have something like that, particularly in work or a goal that you have had, This is no time to give up. Your sign is the sign of perseverance. This is the time to dig in even deeper, but not in the way maybe you usually dig in, which is trying to figure out who is the power player who you need to call to get a favor. No, 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 no. This is a time for you to dig in deep to yourself and go against the grain. Go against what is conventionally done and do it your way. I did it my way. That is your theme song right now. I did it my way, and that's going to bring something beautiful to your career zone and offer a contract, karmic justice, as I said before. So that's the thing. That's the thing I'm really feeling here for you. And this energy starts at this new moon. Now, again, Mars will be energizing that 6th house of work for 7 months. So we have the 7 of Wands here. This, number 7, right? So this will be energy that will be in play for you for 7 months of really embracing your individuality and your unique passion and creativity. That's what's also, because 10s are about also, collectives, group. That's what's also going to help you connect emotionally with a collective. Whatever you're trying to do in the world, we don't work in a vacuum. There's always other people that we're having to deal with, whether it's customers, clients, people who are going to read our book. I mean, whatever it is. So that's also going to help you really emotionally connect with those people as well by you embracing this energy. So dare to be different. Capricorn. So Aquarius, we have a new moon in your 8th house of personal transformation. Mars in Gemini is in favorable alignment to your sign, and he's in your 5th house of love, romance, creativity, pleasure, taking a risk, and the house of the entrepreneur. So with Mars squaring this new moon in your house of transformation, you really may want to think about how you can set an intention to change some very important area of your life involving the 5th house. Those things I just mentioned, love, romance, creativity, et cetera, et cetera. So you're ready. That's the other thing. You are ready for some significant transformation in your life. And Mars is giving you that little kick in the bum emotionally to get off the fence and make a decision and take action. All right. And it all starts with your intention at this new moon in Virgo. So let's see what we have for you, Aquarius. Let's see. The Ace of Cups, gorgeous. And the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, isn't that interesting? Okay. So the 5 Pentacles for me are about self-esteem. It's not just about money. And it's interesting, we're talking about your 5th house where Mars is transiting through Gemini. And the aces for me are about the self. So Ace of Cups is about our self-love. So there's something going on here where we have this beautiful dove of peace and healing and transformation. So it's about setting the intention in your house of transformation, Virgo, that you have healed or you will continue working on healing whatever is holding you back with your confidence about your 5th house goals. Love, romance, creativity, children, taking risks, pleasure, entrepreneurial, etc. Okay? So this is the time to really draw that line in the sand and support yourself and leave this 5 of Pentacles shenanigans behind. So, and the 5 of Pentacles also can come from, because it is a card of exile and turning away and outcast. When we have that type of situation in our life, and everybody's gone through that at some point, I mean, probably nearly everybody, when we have that feeling, it can be hard to bounce back from, and it can feel like, that rejection is going to be around with us forever. So maybe there was a rejection in romance recently, or maybe there was a rejection of a creative project, or maybe your kid said something mean to you, or maybe you just have felt there's no pleasure in life. It's just been too hard. Or maybe your business, your side hustle business hasn't been making too much money. Okay, then don't let that feeling like the universe has left you out in the cold continue to rule your energy. It's time to shift the energy and reaffirm your value to yourself, Ace of Cups, and your self-love. All right, let's pull another card, especially also with this 5th house being activated. And look what we have here, the 9 of Pentacles. So we go from, woe is me to I got everything I need and I did it. 9 of Pentacles. This is beautiful self-esteem. I created my personal paradise and I am totally worthy and happy. And this is our Virgo energy also. So within a month, by the end of Virgo season, you could make a significant turnaround in your self-esteem and your self-worth by really setting a very strong intention to leave this energy behind, and continue to work on the things that bring you joy and make you feel valued and valuable, and turn away from any relationships or situations that drag you down with this 5 of Pentacles, that don't affirm your beautiful energy. So let's hide that. We don't want to see that. So this is a time to invest in yourself. Ace of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. Make that, again, we got the Virgo here. So set that intention, 8th house, that I'm going to invest in my personal transformation. Your 8th house. That's emotional transformation, financial, physical, mental, etc. That, I'm going to do whatever it takes to transform what I need to transform and heal, because I am worth it. And because I know that I can manifest anything I need when I feel good about myself. So you could have a very, very positive turnaround by the end of Virgo season in this area. And that's going to help propel you through the next 7 months with Mars and Gemini to having probably some sort of beautiful success in that 5th house area. Love, romance, creativity, relationships, children, entrepreneurship, your own business, etc. So fantastic energy. Set that intention, Aquarius. All right, Pisces. So we have the new moon in Virgo happening in your 7th house of relationships, both business and personal. Mars is in Gemini, energizing your 4th house of home, family, roots, what nourishes you and what feeds you. And Mars will be in Gemini for 7 months, activating the home area of your chart. Wow. Okay, so this for me, with Mars in your 4th house squaring the 7th house new moon energy, this to me is about, what do you really need to shift emotionally to be happy at home? Happy and at home in your body also, I'm kind of feeling. At home with roommates. At home with happy in relationships. Like finding the people, because again, 4th house is what nourishes you and what feeds you. So setting the intention to not accept less than, to really accept people that are also going to nurture you and be there for you, that have that same sense of, emphasis on emotional values that you have. And only letting people like that into your world, because, Pisces, sometimes you have a soft spot, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's one of your strengths. But I feel like with Mars squaring this new moon, it's like you've had enough of that. Like you want something that emotionally sustains you, right? Where you can feel at home with the person. Well, I mean, maybe not necessarily a romantic partner, but we're talking about friendships here. Whoever is in your world, personal relationships, like that people are nurturing you is what I am feeling. And with Mars energizing that, you're not going to, and squaring it, you're not going to be putting up with people's shenanigans. And you may be a little ornery and feisty about it too, which I think actually would be a breath of fresh air for you. So you may be really asserting some interesting emotional boundaries in the pursuit of getting people or manifesting people in your life who are much more emotionally nurturing, and getting rid of the emotional deadwood in your life is what I am feeling. All right, let's see what we need to know about that. Pisces. We have the 3 of Pentacles and we have the 4 of Wands. Okay, I like that. Your personal full moon is coming up in a couple of weeks, September 10th and 11th. So I feel by the time we get to your personal full moon, you will have come up with a plan, Three of Pentacles, for your happiness, Four of Wands. We're talking about your fourth house. For some sort of re-energizing, emotional re-energization, is that a word? But emotional renaissance, a renewal of your most intimate sector, Four of Wands, which is your home, your family, roots, etc. Four of Wands, though, can be about a door opening, but it can also be, especially in this deck, it can be about a wedding. It can be about finding a significant other, people who get you. It's just a beautiful energy of joy and conviviality, right? It's like a celebration that, oh, I'm coming home to people who get me. Whether you're coming home literally to people who get you or just figuratively speaking. So Three of Pentacles is an architecture, a structure, a craft card. So I feel like you're going to come up with this plan. And I also feel like there's going to be a new group of people that you're probably going to get involved with who are going to feel like family. This may occur over the next several months. It may not, magically manifest like this right now, but the fact that you're shifting your energy at this new moon, you're setting the intention that you want to bring in more people who are worthy of you. That's going to go a long way toward, accelerating this manifestation of these people coming in. And we got the Judgment. Okay. So probably in about 2 months with the Judgment card here, you will be breathing new life into your relationship sector, right? It starts always with an intention. Sometimes it takes a while for a manifestation to fully occur. But you will be breathing new life into, really, again, the people around you. This could also be making some sort of big decision about your home life in a couple of months also. And there may be a discussion about a new person moving in, whether this is a new roommate or a significant other or a family member. So it'll be your judgment call. Since this is coming up in your read, you're going to make the decision about that, not the other person. You will make that decision. There could be some discussions that get underway at this new moon about that. I feel like it's important for you to give it a little bit more time before you make that decision. But again, it's a general reading and you'll figure that out. You'll apply the energies to your life. So this looks very good. There is going to be a renaissance and a renewal, a new life being breathed into your relationships. So thank you so much for joining me for your new moon in Virgo astrology and tarot reading. I love you guys. I hope that you have a great new moon in Virgo and you set some powerful intentions for change and positive manifestations. Please do leave me a comment and let me know what's going on for you with this energy. Love you guys. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Stella Wilde signing out.